Hi, I'm Suni and I'm here to share with you about all the crafty, creative, artsy things that I've been up to lately. So first thing, I just have to say I am currently with COVID and my energy is a little bit more subdued than I would want it to be for a podcast, but also maybe that's a nice thing. So just bear with me if I am seeming like I have really low energy. Now, what this leads me into is that because I have COVID, today is Friday, tomorrow Rhinebeck starts, and very sadly, I had to make the decision to not go to Rhinebeck this year after a lot of trying to make it work. I was planning on going with my dad. We were gonna go camping and go to the festival together, which I was really looking forward to, but the idea of getting him or anybody else sick was an immediate no-go, and then also for how I'm feeling, I don't really have it in me to walk around all day somewhere very, very overstimulating and then camp out. And I love camping, but not when I'm sick. You know, you really want to be able to take a nice hot shower and recoup a little bit. So all of that to say, I'm not going to Rhinebeck. I am disappointed. I'm really sad, and mostly it's because I was really looking forward to getting to meet people and walking around, just connecting with different people, whether you watch the podcast, folks whose podcasts I watch, people who are purveyors of woolens that I love. It's just, I think that that's really the thing that I'm missing out on and can't get the experience of from home. However, I did get to go to Vermont Sheep and Wool, which was great, and I'll chat about that shortly. I also have the internet at my disposal if I want to treat myself to some yarn anyways, even though I'm not going to the festival. And then 3, like I said, I'm just happy that I'm not getting anyone sick right now. So all in all, I think it's a really good decision to stay home. And yes, I have some tremendous FOMO right now because I really want to be there, but I can't. So I'm recording my podcast today. It's going to come up tomorrow, and luckily I have a lot to share with you. So we're going to get started because it's quite a bit. Beginning with my September Scarflette pattern, I have the wonderful update that this is now live on Ravelry. It's my first pattern. I kind of can't believe that it's up on Ravelry, and all of the testers who contributed their projects to the Ravelry page and just their feedback, their beautiful outcomes. I can't say thank you enough. I think what really hit me during the testing process, and really whenever somebody chooses to knit this pattern from here on out, is just, I think about how precious my knitting time is, the yarn expense, the time expenditure, all of it together. And then to have somebody see something that I've put out there, they like it enough that they're going to put all of that effort into creating it. It really means a lot. I can really connect to that, and I do appreciate it. So thank you to the testers. Thank you to those of you who are interested in the pattern. You're gonna knit it. It's a great little pattern. I am now on my 3rd one, and again, I'll share more about that as we get along to whips and finished objects and everything. Wow, I've really got that COVID lung situation where I cannot talk for a long amount of time. So again, please bear with me for this episode. Where was I? September Scarflette. Yes, so the pattern is out. It's live on Ravelry. There's a link below. Check out everybody's projects from the testers. I love them. There's a particularly cute one with one on a dog if you really want to click around and look. I think that might have been my photo highlight from all of my testers. I mean, really, how can you compete with that? Even though everybody's turned out beautifully, it's on the cutest little dog. So that's very sweet. One quick note that I want to make about this pattern is that I have written it for a sport weight or a very light DK weight, like a Cardiff Cashmere Classic. And how it's actually turned out is really you can knit this at any gauge you want. Just adjust to make it how you want it to be. I knit very loose, so my gauge of knitting on US 1s or 2.25 millimeter needles, but with a sport weight yarn, you may not achieve the gauge that I got at all. So feel free to adjust. You can even knit this on like a worsted weight. It really doesn't matter. It's an accessory. There's no like actual fits you need to like, you know, you don't have to shape a shoulder. It's fine. It's cool. Like use the scraps that you have. That's the whole point of this project. So anyway, I hope you enjoy it. It's on Ravelry, September Scarflette, link below. Let me know what you think. I have a little bit of art news to share, and then I'm going to get into finished objects, and yes, I will talk about my Harriet sweater. So first up is this basket of stickers that I have to share about. These are all of the stickers and designs from the Fibercraft collection print that I put together. So we now have stickers, which I'm very excited about. We have the willow and flax basket. I call this one like maker's tools. So you have a weaving shuttle, a null binding needle, a little bobbin for tatting or lace making, and then a crochet hook. Skein with little sheep sleeping, so wool. This one for cotton, natural fibers, quilt stars. Real quick, I think that if you are handy with a pair of scissors, you could very easily cut these into 2 stickers if you wanted to. I wouldn't be offended. I like them as the 2 together, but do what you will. Little sheep, you've seen him before, or her. You've seen her before. We have the knitting. This one is needle and thread for sewing. Needle, spindle, and weaving. So all of these stickers are now available. You can get them as a set of all, I believe it's 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, 10. So you can get these as a set of all 10 stickers, or you can get individuals. Again, on my website, feel free to browse. Use the code MOTHPOD if you'd like a discount at checkout. I'm also hoping to bring these stickers to yarn and fiber shops around the country, basically. So if you are somebody who works at a yarn shop or you know a good fit, please feel free to email me about wholesale. There is a contact link on my website, or you can just click the wholesale link. That will bring you to Fair or like details about how to facilitate a wholesale order. But yeah, I'd love to get these out and about into the world if you feel like helping me out. Cool. Next up, same design, Fibercraft design, but now on t-shirts. So these t-shirts are coming in Monday. They are not on site yet, so I just have the mock-up photos for you, but these guys are going to be ready for shipping as of Monday. You're welcome to place an order now. They are on the website. All of the colors and sizes and quantities have already been input into my site, so it's technically a pre-order, but it's like a 2-day pre-order. So go ahead, check that out. Again, use the code MOTHPOD on the website and you'll get a discount at checkout. I also wanted to share that I have one hat left on the website. This is the Alternating Greens sheep hat. It's a hand carved, printed, sewn patch onto a cotton hat. It is adjustable on the back. It's sort of like a dad cap styling. I don't think my hair is going to really allow for me to put it on today, but you know, there, you get the vibe. So these hats, I've made quite a few of them for the fall. I do a run of hats each year, and then this is the one that is left. If you're interested, I do recommend snagging it. Again, it's listed on the website. Use the code MOTHPOD. There you go. And then last new thing that I've added to the website and I wanted to share about from last episode's update is that I finished my calendar. It's in a sleeve. I ship everything and package everything with like a stiff backing board and then in plastic sleeves so that it gets there safely to you. But here is the calendar, pardon the glare. So I input all of the moon cycle information here. We just have like the months across the top and then days down the bottom. You can see the full moons are indicated here with like a double circle, and then new moons are just fully black, and then everything in between. You can find that the quarter moons are like a very distinct half and half. And then as for the design, this year I went for a wreath, sort of like a seasonal wreath. I was really inspired by a garlic and dried flower wreath that one of my market neighbors was selling from their farm, Last Resort Farm. And so I wanted to do something that really like brought you from winter into spring. These are little forget-me-nots and bloodroot. This is a trillium, lupin, like a morning glory. Then we have into the oak, sort of fall to spring cycle again. And these are all Vermont native plants, and the moon cycles and phases, those are actually to Eastern Standard Time. I just want to throw that out there. If you are, in the UK and you want to get a calendar, you might find that I'm just saying that the full moon is happening a day before or after you might think it is. What would that be? After? Oh gosh, I'm so bad with time zones. I know that it's like 6 hours earlier there, but I can't figure that out right now. Too brain foggy. So anyway, we have the calendars. They're set to Eastern Standard Time. They're on the website. Again, Moth Pod. You get a discount at checkout. All right, that's all that I have for the art news side of things. I want to get into finished objects, and then we're going to talk about whips and acquisitions and sewing and what I've been reading and a little bit of information about the Christmas Carol Cal knit along that I'm going to be starting on November 1st. Finished objects. Do you want to hear about the Harriet sweater? Because I want to tell you about the Harriet sweater. So I'm going to stand up so you can get a better look at it. Here is my Harriet sweater. I am really happy with this. There are some places that I could have done a better job, I feel like, but all in all, this is the comfiest thing I've ever made, and I'm so happy in it. So to run you through, this is the Harriet sweater by Lay Knit. I have made a few modifications to it, including a split hem in a 2x2 rib. I did a 2x2 rib collar folded down and 2x2 rib cuffs, all bound off in a tubular bind off. The pattern calls for more of like a turtleneck. The split hem doesn't exist. It's a 1x1 rib. Everything's 1x1, but I wanted to do 2x2, so I did. The other modification is that there's actually one more color work motif under this one here in the pattern, and I omitted it because I was running very short on yarn, and I wanted to make sure that I had enough for both of the sleeves to match. And as you can see, they almost match. I ran out of yarn at the very end, but when I am looking at it here, I can barely tell, and honestly, I had forgotten about that until I was looking at it side by side in the camera. For yarn, I used Junction Fiber Mill's Farm Fresh from Savage Hart Farms. And if you follow along with Junction Fiber Mill, you'll know that Savage Hart Farms is Peggy's sheep and farm, and it was really special to get to use this yarn. That is the main color and the lighter color. And then for the darker color, you can watch back previous episodes. I got into a little bit of a pinch where I realized that I needed a third color, didn't have it, had to find something, and very luckily I was able to find a local yarn from Flower Power Farm in Ferrisburg out of a lovely Finn sheep, which is this dark color here. You may remember from a previous episode that when I got to this point here, I was really stressed out because I thought that this dark stripe was going to look horribly out of place with the whole pattern, and I was debating if I should go back and like knit the entire flower dark and flip things around or whatnot. But I have to say, I am so happy I followed through with, I'm just going to cut my head off so that you can see the sweater better. I am so happy I followed through here with the stripe because I think that it carries along through the whole motif really nicely, and honestly I wouldn't have it any other way. I may have, if I'd had more yarn, remember I was playing yarn chicken this entire time, I probably would have knit like an inch below this motif in stockinette just before I hit the ribbing. But all in all, I think that the proportions aren't so off that it's tragic. The other thing that I might have changed is that this was my first time with this style of cast on, where you cast on straight across the top of the shoulder, the back of the neck, and then you knit down the back, then you knit the fronts. So you end up with this kind of like rectangle from here to here, and then straight across the back to here, straight across the front. When I went to pick up stitches here, I just feel like I hadn't knit enough distance so that when I picked up the correct number of stitches for my sleeves, that's where I'm getting this ruffle from. I can't say that I like it, the ruffle. I would much prefer, let's see if I can like get it into shape. I would much prefer if the sleeve had like that type of a fit to it, just because this is kind of a bulky area on me across bust and upper arm, and so adding extra volume there doesn't like suit my figure for sure. However, this is the most comfy, cozy sweatshirt kind of a sweater that I've ever knit, and I think that the volume of the sleeve really contributes to that feeling. So I have a lot of range of motion, I have a lot of comfort. This yarn is so soft, I'm okay with it. I'm gonna sit back down again. Whew, okay. Wow, it's so funny how COVID impacts you. Like, I don't feel sick. I mean, we've all been through this for a while now. We're going on 6 years. Like, it is with us. But I feel like fine until I try to breathe, and then I'm like, okay. So we continue, seated. I am, like I said, just like really happy with this sweater. I've been wearing it pretty much nonstop. I finished it, let me check my Ravelry notes. I started this sweater on August 20th, and then I finished on October 10th. So just over like a month and a half on the needles. And within that time, there was a few days where I stopped to work on the like dilemma of the stripe, the dark stripe there. And so that kind of ate into my time a little bit, but otherwise I really cruised through it. I think that the color work was a challenge for me, so it slowed down my overall knitting time. But, and this is such a heavier gauge sweater that knitting it really flew by. I was knitting at a heavy DK, which really feels like a worsted to me on mostly US 6 needles, except for when I got to the, what are these called? Ribbing details. And so I got through it pretty quickly, pretty happily, and I kind of now don't know what to do with myself, except that I have a lot of other projects going on. But once you finish a really big project like this, you're kind of like, oh, okay, that wasn't so bad. What am I going to do next? And that's part of what I am deciding while I'm working on quite a few other like smaller projects. My other finished object, which is one that you've never seen before, and I honestly thought that it wouldn't go by this quickly, so I have to take you through acquisitions to final object here real quick. So this is a little hat that I knit for my nephew. This is yarn that I got from, I need the tag, from Ruby and Rose's yarn. This is the Rustic Rose Aran weight, so it's a non-superwash merino 3-ply. This is the colorway Minimalist, and I really don't think the color is being served any justice right in here, but it's kind of a like sky and seafoam blue combo, and this yarn is so squishy and soft. It's really lovely. I didn't really follow a pattern for this. I like loosely went off of what I remembered from knitting my weekend hat by Petite Knit, but this is a different gauge and a different hat altogether. And if I'm being honest, I actually was trying to knit this for myself, and because I was knitting without a pattern, It ended up a little bit small for me, so it is now for my nephew, who has a much smaller head because he is 5. And I think he'll really like it. He loves hats, and the fact that I made it, I hope that he appreciates. My next finished object is a second September scarflet, which I don't actually have with me because I already gave it to my mom. I knit it out of this very pale pink Cardiff Cashmere Classic. I don't know the colorway, I've lost the tag, and it's just like the most pale, almost white pink option that they have. I've asked her to send me a photo, which she hasn't yet, but if she does by the time I'm editing, I will insert it. If it's not here, I didn't get a photo, but I will try to update on Ravelry if and when she sends a photo. So anyway, this was my second September scarflet, which is a self-drafted pattern. Talked about it in the beginning. It's on Ravelry now if you're interested in it. But this was my first time knitting it with the Cardiff Cashmere, which was a delight. Highly recommend that. Very soft, very cozy. So then I immediately gave it to my mom without remembering to take photos. That's all I have for finished objects right now. So I'm going to bring you into acquisitions and then whips. Acquisitions came mostly from the Vermont Sheep and Wool Festival, which I went to, was it 2 weekends ago? I ended up going with my mom, my partner's mom, and then my aunt, and we had a nice time walking around. We got some maple creamies. I took almost no photos and no footage because it turns out I'm just not so good at that type of thing. I just have a hard time whipping my camera out in public like that. So I apologize if you were really hoping for a vlog style, like I went to Vermont Sheep and Wool Festival vibe, but it didn't happen, and I don't think you'll ever get that from me, to be quite transparent. I did, however, get some spinning fiber. This is a Teeswater and Corriedale fiber together for spinning. I walked into the first building and I saw it and I was like, well, that's something that's coming home with me. I don't know if it's that it was just like in this giant squishy ball that got me so excited, but I had to have it. This is from Wind Ridge Farm. They offer raspberries, yarn, fleeces, and roving. They have Teeswater, Border Leicester, Corriedale, Romney Sheep, and then this is from Tom and Nancy Charon. So this is their card if you are interested. Lovely fiber. I have not started working with it yet, but I am sure that I will as soon as I'm done with my other spinning project, which I haven't been working on at all lately. My other acquisition from Vermont Sheep and Wool is that I picked up some of this Snowfield alpaca fiber. They are 100% alpaca in 3-ply worsted weight in the colorways dark taupe and then like a heathered green, which I'll show you. This is going to bring us right into whips because I've already started knitting something with them. So this is the green. I was told that this is a seafoam dye over a gray base, and I love the color. Like I truly was walking through, I was going to walk by a booth, and then I did a double take and I saw this green and I was like, oh, I have to get that. And then I wandered around the whole festival again. I was like, do I want to go back and get another color? What do I want to do? So I ended up getting this gray brown. This is the dark taupe. It's actually pretty much the same color as my sweater. Can you tell what colors I like? My thoughts were that I was going to do a two-toned scarf, like a just one side, one color, one side, the other color, have them meet in the middle. And I was looking around on all sorts of patterns, and did I want to just like come up with something for myself? Did I want to follow a pattern? I didn't really know. And I landed yesterday on saying, okay, you know what? Enough's enough. It's time for me to knit a Sophie scarf. And here she is. So I have been working on this just for one day. I started yesterday. I'm knitting off gauge for sure. I'm knitting on US 6s with a worsted weight 3-ply alpaca. It's definitely off gauge, but I actually am happy about that. I wanted a much thicker type of a scarf. I'm making the size large from the pattern, so I'm gonna increase my stitches across until I get to where the pattern tells me. Hopefully that gets me close to the end of this ball, because I want to then just go straight into this one. If I get to however many increases I'm supposed to have, I may just knit flat for a little bit to get to the end of the ball and then pick this one up. But to be determined, I'm not there yet, and I'm really just winging this. At the moment, I could switch to the other color and still have plenty of scarf to go around and have it be my two-toned thing, but I really want something that's longer and can wrap quite a bit more. I am delighted with how quickly this project has come together. I've avoided the Sophie scarf for a long time, I think because I wanted to do something that was different, but I also kept looking for something that was different and also the same, and I couldn't find something that was different and the same, so I just went for the thing that is what it is, which is the Sophie scarf by Petite Knit, and it's not disappointing. My biggest tip, which is not even one that I came up with, this was something that I saw on a video about the Sophie scarf when I was deciding to make it, is that you should really put a locking stitch marker or progress tracker on your increase side. It is so easy to forget which side you're supposed to do your increasing on, because it happens every so many rows, and it's all on the same sides that you get this like right triangle shape going on. It's really easy to accidentally increase on the wrong side. So, or not on the wrong side this way, but on the wrong edge rather. So far, no mistakes, and I think it is completely due to my little acorn here helping guide the way. Since I really wasn't feeling well yesterday, I spent most of my time on the couch working on this project, and I am planning to do that again this afternoon. So I'm sure that this one will be done and off the needles relatively soon, and I'm looking forward to being able to wear it with the sweater because it seems like the right kind of color. The next whip is another September Scarflette. This is my third one. So I have not made it super far on this one just because I'm knitting it a little bit more slowly than my others. This is a very quick knit, like you can do it in a day if you want to, but I have time to get this one done, and I'm also like excited about some other accessory projects. But this is the little September Scarflette. This is the wrong side with the pearls, and then the right side with the stockinette, and then the seed stitch ribbons. I'm getting stuck. Seed stitch ribbons and border. I have just finished all of my increases at this point, and so now I'm working flat for a while before basically mirroring this shape on the other side. And the idea is that it wraps around. The increase and decreases kind of like overlap where the ribbons come around, and then they tie in a cute way. This is knit out of the Cardiff Cashmere Classic once again, but this is in the colorway Zoe or Fatigue. It seems like Cardiff maybe like changed colorway names at one point. I don't really know the lore here, but it's color 619 if you want to know the color code. It's lovely. It's like a very deep jewel forest tone, and I'm working on this one for my sister-in-law to be for Christmas. I think that this color is going to be lovely on her, and she also just like has the style to wear a little scarf like this. That's my September Scarflette. I'm really looking forward to gifting this to her. I think that it makes a fantastic gift. One ball of yarn, cashmere. Who doesn't love cashmere? And it's cute. As far as the really big whip goes, which is my wedding dress, I don't have any updates right now. I had been working really hard to get this sweater completed, and then I needed to do a few like little projects to feel like I'd accomplished something really quick. So that's where the hat is coming in, and a couple of little scarves. I may even knit a pair of socks before diving back into the wedding dress because I have more of a deadline flexibility on the wedding dress than I do on some other things like holiday gift knits. But I am still working on like the design, my ideas, and I think that as soon as I get to a point where I'm feeling good about holiday gifts, I'm gonna start working on I'll start working on the dress some more. I did get a notification yesterday that most of the yarn for the project shipped, so I am about to be inundated with Knitting for Olive Pure Silk in the colorway Cream, and I think I ordered like 25 balls or something like that. I have plenty to be getting on with, and again, once I get through holidays, that dress is going to be the priority, unless I get distracted, but I really can't get distracted. I have to have it done for May because I need to wear it. Other longer term whips that I have on the needles, my Heirloom Quilt cardigan, no updates there. It continues to be the Heirloom Gilt cardigan. I've said so many times that I want to get through that project before the end of the year, and that's still true because I just want it done. I don't want it looming over my head anymore. I like the pattern, I want to wear it, I want it done, but gosh, do I not want to knit it. It's just, I think I've been working on it for way too long that my excitement about it has dwindled a little bit over the years, months. But that one still remains a project to manage and get done. And then I also have the Arches sweater, which I am currently knitting for my partner for the holidays. That one should get done by Christmas time, but I still have the sleeves and the rest of the body to go, plus the neckline. Yeah. For non-knitting crafting, I do have a little sewing project, which is this project bag that I'm working on. I have not added the little drawstring band yet, even though I have the pieces cut and the little edges sewn up. So that will go across here. It's this lovely little swallow and like heart leaf pattern on the inside, and then I wanted to do some like autumnal colors here on the outside. I really like this green fabric that has these like multicolored, very subtle stamped flowers. And yeah, I just wanted a small bag that was going to be good for a hat or a small scarf or a pair of socks or something like that. So that is what this project bag is destined for as soon as I get around to finishing it. I started working on it right after I finished my Harriet sweater because I really needed a knitting break after like pushing to get this done. And so I started on it, and then I got distracted by casting on new projects like my Sophie scarf and this hat, and I haven't worked on the sewing since then, but I definitely will. It's time to show you this skein again. This is my Bad Sheep yarn Christmas Carol. I have been talking about this for a while, but it is almost time that we're going to be casting on and actually doing something with this. So as you may remember from previous episodes, I am planning a knit along with this particular colorway from Bad Sheep yarn. So you can visit badsheepyarn.com. You're going to look up the colorway Christmas Carol, and you're going to use the code MFS10 at checkout for a discount code, as I am an affiliate for Bad Sheep Yarn. My intentions with this knit along is you can knit anything that you want. I'm personally going to knit a pair of Christmas socks with this yarn in the DK weight, but you can make whatever you want. You can use multiple colors just as long as it includes the Christmas Carol colorway. I think this is such a fun colorway, and it will be a perfect pair of Christmas socks to wear around on Christmas morning. So our cast on date is November 1st of this year, 2025, and then it will go through December 25th, 2025. You can cast on whenever you want. You can order your yarn probably sooner the better, but you can cast on whenever you want within that range. You just have to be done by the 25th. How you can participate, you can just comment below and let me know that you are participating. And then I also have a Discord server set up for this particular project, Knit Along. If you want to join into that, just comment below that you're interested, and then we will figure out how to get your Discord username, or you can just comment your username below if you feel comfortable doing that. I'll add you to the server. I am not doing an Instagram knit along platform, and the reason for that is, let me share with you in our next segment, which is not knitting related. I am taking a break from Instagram. I have not deleted my accounts, but I have deleted the app from my phone. It's been fantastic. Oh my god, do I recommend it. my day-to-day anxiety levels have decreased, and I play with my cats more. So that's my pitch to you. If you're thinking that you need to get rid of Instagram, you probably do. But do what you're gonna do. Obviously, like, I'm missing out on a lot of the inspirations that come from that app, a lot of the connections. You know, I'm like kind of bummed out that I'm not having that same person-to-person chat and like conversation and sharing and connection. All of that is a bit of a bummer, but I am feeling a lot better not sitting on my phone scrolling for hours a day, because that's what was happening and I couldn't be helped, and so I had to just cut it out. I do still have the app on my iPad. However, I am not on my iPad very often. It's not a convenient thing for me to carry around or like take to bed and scroll. So I am checking my DMs and notifications like once every couple of days through my iPad, but I'm not really doing that much with it. So this is all to say, if you're trying to reach out through Instagram, you can, but email would be a lot better. I'm sure that I will come back to Instagram and sort of start posting again or have some sort of interaction, but I really need to take a break before I know how to set up the healthy boundaries. Yeah, I just need a really big break, and then I can re-enter into it with a lot more intention as well. I think that I actually get really bogged down by the like marketing side of my business. It's not my strong suit, or like being a social media manager is not really what is doing it for me in this world. So I don't do a great job of it. I think that I have better luck and better consistency even with filming a podcast than I do posting every once in a while or like taking pictures of what I'm working on. So Instagram doesn't like jive with me the best anyways, but I still could probably stand to use it more because it is a really good tool for sharing my work and my business and like connecting with people. So wow, that was long-winded. I'm just taking a break from Instagram. You can reach out to me on the contact page on my website, or you can drop a comment below. Let me know if you want to sign up for the Discord server, and I will connect you there. Lastly, for what I've been up to that isn't crafting related, which is kind of nice because I've been feeling like I have all of this newfound time and energy and like peace now that I'm not, as I said, sitting on my phone scrolling for hours a day. Reading. So I had been reading some like very light bedtime books, like books that I wouldn't even recommend that you read. They're just fine for bedtime because I get bored within a page or two and pass out. But I really wanted to read this October Slewfoot by Brom because I felt like it was the perfect October kind of witchy vibes book to read. So I started that like 2 nights ago, I want to say. Very good. Highly recommend already. I'm only in the first chapter, or I just finished the first chapter. But I really like it so far. I'm excited to know what's happening. That one I am not reading right before bed. That one I'm like sitting down for reading time, and I haven't done sit down reading time in a long time. I used to be such an avid reader growing up. Like, I had a book on me at all times. I was very happy to be lost in my stories, and I think that through adulthood and being distracted, I find myself like wanting to sit and read less and less, especially because I want to do all of my crafting stuff. But again, in taking a break from my phone addiction, I am finding more time to sit and read, and it's feeling really good. Similarly, I am trying to think about what I can do to rest and have an enjoyable hobby that isn't always knitting or always drawing or something making, because I have tremendous wrist, hand, arm pain, and I really need to take solid breaks. I need to be stretching more often. I need to be taking a day off from knitting like every other day. But that's really hard for me to do, especially because I am a crafty, creative, artsy person, and I don't want to not be that person. So that is leading me into more writing time and more gaming time. I'm not a big gamer. My partner is a big gamer, and so I've sort of gotten into things, but what I've been enjoying playing lately is Tiny Glade or A Little to the Left. The other game that I've been playing is called Dorfromantik, and it's I have to read it, Dorfromantik. How can I describe it? If your favorite part of playing Catan is setting up the tiles in a way that you think is like a clever way to set up the tiles, you should play this game. It is a very chill landscape tile placing game in which you get points for like well-placed tiles or building cities with certain number of houses or forests with certain number of trees and all these things. You make like these really sprawling landscapes or like continents. I'm having so much fun with that game. I think it's my favorite. I've logged many an hour on it, even though it is not that exciting. It's a really good, I need to detach and chill, but I need to not like sit on my phone and scroll and make myself anxious kind of thing. Highly recommend. And then the last kind of creative thing that I've been up to is something that I'm coming back to after years and years and years, and that's creative writing. I journal a lot for myself about my feelings and thoughts and processing, but I haven't really like sat down and written a story since I was in middle school when I was doing like NaNoWriMo and just writing a lot. I don't know what compelled me to do it. It was just probably that I was reading a lot, and so I was writing a lot. But heading back into a place where I'm crafting a story and getting it on paper, or in this case, just like typing it, I'm finding that that's really enjoyable as well. And it's a nice creative outlet that isn't using my hands in the same labor-intensive way that is hurting me. All of this is to say, hey, I'm spending less time on my phone and more time doing creative stuff and broadening what that creative stuff is, spending more time with myself, feeling happy about it. I'm pleased that I'm coming to this juncture. I think it's really good for me. Oh, and then also I'm doing like a lot of yoga at home too. Really, I'm just trying to like reinvest my time in myself and away from my phone. And if you're looking for ways to do that, think about picking up a hobby that you did in middle school that you don't feel really like close to anymore, but you know that you used to enjoy. Think about deleting Instagram and do that hobby. See what happens, I guess, is my little bit of advice. Or stay on your phone if you want to. I'm not judging. I am just feeling good about what I'm doing for myself and sharing. Okay, that's enough of a ramble there. I am going to wrap this up so that I can go work on all of my crafty, creative, artsy things, and also give my lungs a little bit of a break and maybe even take a nap because I am still feeling a little bit under the weather. But thank you so much for being here, listening. I hope that you have had a wonderful couple of weeks, and you're going to have a couple wonderful weeks working on anything that you're doing. Let me know what projects you're working on, or maybe like what that craft is you'd like to get back into down below. I'd love to hear about it. Thank you so much for being here.